All right, weekend sports betting tips on the Barroom Network. My name is Tooch. Got Mr. Sean Higgs with me. Anthony's out sick. Me and him both have this. But Anthony wanted me to mention, Sean, that I did get 2 Subway footlongs for $9.62 on Wednesday. So it's
Can't go wrong with
2
$2 footlongs for $9.
Yeah. Got my wife a tuna sandwich, and then I had
I love the Subway tuna, even though it's not real tuna.
Yep.
But it tastes, whatever it is, it's fabulous.
It's that's a good one. I get all my how to get my vegetables. Subway.
Just loaded up with a lot of shredded lettuce and tomatoes.
The Barroom Network. Sean, before we get rolling here on Super Bowl week, before we get rolling, Caleb Williams or Justin Fields?
Justin Fields all day long. How are we
build it?
So let's bring in another quarterback to learn under Eberflus and take another 3 years of the team being bad.
Or mediocre.
To what? Yeah, to say we got to let him. We got to tank for whoever's coming out next year. And for a guy who didn't play good this year against the better teams, he didn't play good. He threw interceptions. The team didn't win. I know he's one guy, and that doesn't mean you're automatically going to win when you have a quarterback. But interceptions against teams that had 2 or 3 NFL players on it. What happens when he faces a defense that has 11 NFL players on it? And his emotional softness. I mean, you're really that's the guy you want? Oh, he's so more. No, I don't think you need that today. I know it's cool to be a sappy wuss in today's world, but no, you don't need that lead in your team.
Yep.
And if you think you're upset because you can't win a Pac-12 regular season conference, win 10 games, you're in for a rude awakening going to the Bears and winning 4 games a year.
Yeah. So, Bears, I say this all the time on the Barroom Network. We've never been good at developing quarterbacks. We've never had coaches that know what to do with them like the Packers do. They get they find a guy and they just, they let him watch and sit, and then he ride him for 10 years. I mean,
you guys chased out Cutler and Trubisky, 2 guys who are head and shoulders better than anybody you've had in 30. Like, who's the best quarterback you guys had?
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler by far, and you guys hated him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's soft. He's soft, playing with like a broken arm.
So we were talking about this last night. We're talking about the game where Jay Cutler tore his groin.
Yes.
In a game, continued playing, and then in the week between the game and the next week, he had blood drawn from his balls, put in a centrifuge and spun blood and plasma, and re-injected back into his balls. I mean, how tough is that? I don't think you get.
He's terrible. All right.
All right. Well, it's Super Bowl week. Super Bowl 58. We got the 49ers and the Chiefs. And I've been trying to wrap my head around the number. As far as I know, most of the money is on the Chiefs. How come the line hasn't moved much? The Chiefs,
so
Mahomes is getting points.
We always talk about this, and it's like, oh, well, the betting splits and this and that. And I said, you can't even go into that nonsense now because of the way it's legal across these states, and homers are going to be betting on this thing in this state and this thing in this state. Well, I was looking at one of the split pages, and again, everyone is different from what the books tell you. When I was checking out, every state was over 60% going to Kansas City except for one. New Jersey was like 55, 57% on San Fran. And the line is, you got 2.5. I mean, last I heard it was 2. If it recently just jumped up to 2.5, that would be a shocker to me, considering they just said Billy Walters was putting $500,000 or $1 million on the Chiefs, you think the Chiefs should be 4-point favorites here. So, yeah, it's a 2. It's probably where it should be. In December, this line on a neutral probably would have been Niners -5, right? That's what I think it is, and that's what, from what I've heard, that's what it would have been. But they play bad down the stretch, and you get a number like this. But yeah, I have not heard anybody say, let's take San Francisco. It's all about Mahomes as an underdog. He's 10-1. Look at this. He went on the road. He beat, and yeah, you went on the road and not a good season, right? They hit the same. He had Russell Wilson stats, and the team won 10 or 11 games. And I didn't think they were going to beat the Bills, and I didn't think they were going to beat the Ravens. Yet they won, and now he's whatever he is record-wise. And we know Andy Reid off a bye week, and Spagnuolo's a good defensive coordinator. The Niners look like trash in 2 games.
Yeah,
Shanahan's a choke artist, but yet the line is sitting still at the same.
Hasn't moved. Hardly moved.
Still the same. So what's that say? I mean, listen, the Niners are still, I think, top to bottom, the better team. All right, you have Mahomes, and there's nothing. What are you going to do? I mean,
Mahomes and Kelsey. That's it.
Purdy's played what, 9 games last year, and all this season, and in his big game against the Ravens, he looked like crap, and they played 2 trash games. I don't know. I mean, is it Shanahan's got a lot of pressure on him? I mean, let's be honest. This is Mr. Choke.
Yep.
Years ago with a double-digit lead in the 4th quarter versus the Rams. He blew a 20-10 lead here with 6 minutes ago in the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs. 28-3, notoriously.
Yeah, with Garoppolo, right?
Yeah, that was Garoppolo's Chiefs, and, whatever. You want to be a little aggressive because the Chiefs had Tyreek Hill. I sort of understand, but I don't know. You contained him the whole game. I know you can't really, you can't stop him. You only hope to contain him, but again, you blew a lead. You blew a lead there. It is. And I was doing a show with Ross Jesse today, and in my show, I do it every day.
I saw the show. Yep.
How is this line not moved? It's shocking to me that this isn't even down to a pick 'em or a 1.
Ross likes the Chiefs. He said today.
Well, why would it? I mean, again, you got the quarterback, you got the resume, and you got the better head coach and better defensive coordinator, probably, right? Because the Niners DC just won or finished 2nd in Coach of the Year with a rookie quarterback taking his team to the 2nd round of the playoffs.
Yeah, Cliff said. I mean, Cliff's right. A great quarterback with a lesser offense versus a great offense with a lesser QB. Although Brock Purdy has played pretty well.
The guy threw 31 touchdown passes.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
he's
well
not
coached.
Mahomes.
Yep.
Nobody's Mahomes. It's Mahomes.
Yeah.
I guess you got Lamar down there. You got 2 MVPs, so he's kind of like a step below him a little bit. Different kind of player. And then, you got Josh Allen, Burrow you want to put there. And then I don't know who else. I mean, people don't like Kirk Cousins, but I mean, the difference of quarterbacks is
Matt Stafford I'd put up there, good player.
So, he's but Bears fans, I mean, it is what you take the Bear blinders off and look at your team. It's not a good offense.
Yep.
It's not a good team. He looks good when he takes off. Maybe if they tailor something like a Lamar offense to him where he has some planned runs, or, hey, you know what? Let's just streak, and then you pull guys across one side of the field, and I think I'm going to throw, but I know I could get around the corner and make a busted, kind of like a busted play run. I don't know what their game plan is. I tell you, their game plan shouldn't be, let's start over. I don't think that's ever a good thing.
I know. I agree. I mean, to me, the lure of having all these extra picks.
How'd Bryce Young look this year, everybody?
Yeah.
How'd that offense look?
Exactly. So with the Chiefs went into Baltimore and won against a really good Ravens team, but the Chiefs have been having trouble stopping the run most of the year. And the Ravens, the best rushing offense in the NFL, did not run the ball. It just blows my mind.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about that, too. So they ran the ball, 3 times after the first quarter? What is that? The Buffalo just ran you guys for 190 yards.
Yeah.
And then your coordinator's like, I got an idea. Let's just throw out our game plan that won us 14 games and an MVP for our quarterback this year and do something tricky here. What is that?
They won't be expecting it, Sean.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Shanahan. He's going to do exactly what he's going to do. He was down 24-7 at the Lions. He did the same thing. Here comes CMC. Here's an end around. He doesn't change his crap. You think he's going to come in and start, let's chuck this ball all over the place? He's going to run the ball, and he'll expose that. Chiefs' weak defense right there.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs' offense, it's a problem. Okay, Kelsey's gonna get what 20 targets today. If you like Kansas City, take the Kelsey ladders, receptions. I have. Where is it at here? I wrote it down because I've looking at it. I think it's like here it is. 10 receptions is plus 225. 11 plus is 346. If you think he's going to have a game, 84 yards. But this tells you how he might not have a game because he's getting plus 112 at 84 yards. Who is he throwing the ball to, Mahomes?
Yeah.
If he's not getting 84 yards, I'll tell you what, this game is 30-0. Kansas City's not scoring this game if he doesn't have 84 yards. Where they get nine, what do you get? Four interception returns for touchdowns? 6 field goals to win this game, 19-6. 84 yards is plus money. That's crazy considering his postseason numbers
much
with Mahomes. His postseason number, and that's what he is. 80 plus 110 or 112 on 84 yards, Tooch.
Yeah.
If I told you that Kelsey had 84 yards, how do you think that Super Bowl goes for the Chiefs?
I would think that they lost.
You think it was even close?
Yeah.
Or I mean, that doesn't show me that they win a close game 13-10. That shows me that they were never in it, and it was just a horrible game all over the place.
This game reminds me of when I first when sports wagering, mobile sports betting was legalized in Iowa. Was Brady versus Mahomes. And I said, I'd never placed a bet on legally. I never placed a bet legally in Iowa. And so you're giving me points with Brady. I'm going to take 7.5, whatever it was. I think it was either 7 or 7.5. You give me 7 points with the GOAT. I'm going to take it, And then I also played Gronkowski first touchdown, and both those hit. And I was like, I'm on it. I'm hooked, And, after that's been, learning experience. Thanks. But thanks to you and Anthony, I've been.
Well, listen, you're never going to get I'm taking a 7-point underdog and I was heavy. I was heavy on the under in that game. I was heavy on the under, and I think I'd probably lean KC in that just because I don't remember. It's hard enough to remember in last week's game, so 2 years ago. Yep. I probably would have been on KC, just because I know I won big on the. I love the under in that game.
Yep.
But I would have probably said KC, just because you see a 7 to that, and you're thinking, wow, a 7. And Tampa Bay was good that year. Tampa Bay had a defense.
Yep.
And that's why I like Tampa Bay this year because it's still got remnants of that defense. It's a solid defense.
Yep. You were on. They won the division after you were on the Buccaneers. I actually picked them to win the division, and before the season, after that last preseason game. But my initial lean, is to take points with Mahomes, but all the money's on Mahomes, so I kind of feel like the Niners minus 2.5 it might be the play, but I don't know.
It's just tough, when there's one game left, or it's a wild card game, or it's the NCAA tournament. Like it's just the way it is. All the money's gonna be on one side anyway. It very rarely will be a split, and if it is, it's that's why you have to. If you're not like coming up with a number by yourself or thinking ahead of time before all the talk comes out and the pundits talk and the podcasts and the content guys come in. It's like, oh, do this. You have to have a thought of what you're doing ahead of time. So you knew you were going to get this Super Bowl. Like when Kansas City's playing, wow, they won this game. And you're thinking the Niners are a 10-point fave. They should win this game. All right, so who do I like? Like you should have known beforehand on Sunday going into Sunday night game, like who you liked in this game. If you like Kansas City, you should like Kansas City. Mahomes is just awesome.
Opened at 3 or 3.5.
No, it was always 2.
It was always 2. Okay,
two everywhere. It went down. It was 2. Then it was like a 1.5, and but nothing. 1.5, 2s. Nothing crazy. Nothing. It was never a 3. I saw no, and me, Tooch. I'm looking early for lines, trying to find stuff.
Yeah.
I saw no 3 anywhere.
Okay.
I did see, I think like 1.5s were basically kind of the openers on it. 2s, 1.5s. I'm looking here past numbers. 2, 1.5, then a bunch of 1s. Then it's back up to 2. 2.5 at FanDuel. Tuesday 1.5 at BetMGM. I mean, and even this spot, there's no. You could take the money line. I guess it's plus 105. It's nothing. You know, lay 120 with the San. Why wouldn't you just lay 120? If you like San Fran, lay 120. If you like Kansas City, just take them plus 105. Because it come down to 1 point.
Yeah. Well, Anthony is on the Chiefs. He likes the Chiefs money line. He's also likes the points with Mahomes. You and I both kind of lean the 49ers.
He likes the Chiefs because his I know he respects Trent a lot. He loves Trent. That's the guy he likes to get
Trent's on the Niners, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, you know what? I'm working on the magazine. If the 49ers lose, I won't have to work all night. You and I talked about that before the show.
Oh my goodness, that guy, that guy. And usually listen. I don't really come in, even in my own shows. I try not to talk about what other people do. We just let people do things.
How is he always on the wrong side? Is that like?
But he knows that he just. I mean, holy cow! It's not even funny, man. It's crazy.
But he purposely picks the wrong side, though, right? I mean, it's a gag.
How could you purposely pick the wrong side? Why would that doesn't make any sense to me? How do you do that?
The sports books tell him to take the wrong side, and then
it's bizarre how you could just be that bad and just whatever. That's another show we could talk about that. Let's try to we try to get winners here. We don't do opposite things here,
right?
That.
The total 47.5. So the 49ers are the slowest team in the NFL as far as pace of play. They take the most amount of time between snaps. I'm on the under. I like the under 47.5. Of course, I was on the under with the Chiefs and Ravens. That went way over. What are you thinking about the total here?
I don't know. I haven't bet it. I obviously my initial leans are always on the under because Kansas City has a defense. The Niners defense was pretty good and kind of fell apart of late. But what's San Fran going to do? They're going to run a ball.
Yep. They love to run
Are they
the
more
ball.
explosive? They're the better offense. The Kansas City offense was only like a 19, 20 point a game score this year. And I think I said it in here. I said they're going to drop a 40 on the Bears that week, and they end up doing. That's the only time they scored points. They're not. The offense is not good. It's Kelsey. All right, Pacheco's okay. Folks, this is not 3 years ago. This team puts up 35, 40 points a game. Obviously, under is where I want to go because I think it's going to start slow because San Fran, let's be honest, I don't know if the players feel it. The coach definitely feels the pressure. Different. You got a rookie. I keep calling him a rookie, but it's first Super Bowl. It's different than a regular season. They're going to be a little conservative. Both teams don't want to kind of screw up.
Mr.
Relevant. This isn't a spot where you're going to come in. Here's a prop I like. Both teams that kick field goals over 33 yards, 33 plus yards. It's minus 128. This isn't high. We're going to go for it. Nah, they're going to take points in what should be a low-scoring game. Andy Reid's not going to.
He likes to go for it, but I don't see him. I see him being more conservative here.
Not early. You're going to take points when you can. I do like. Here's another prop I like. Fourth down conversions to be converted. Kansas City is minus 112. And the Niners are minus 102. And FanDuel had it. Both of them, I guess, probably style, plus 310. So, I mean, both convert a third down conversion. They're both going to convert fourth down. I think they're both convert a fourth down conversion. They're going to go for some. I mean, you get that on the first drive at midfield, somebody can be like, you know what? This is it. 49ers could be 4th and 1 at like the 48. Are they going to punt it? I think he's got to go for it just based on, hey, we're going for it. I'm not scared. If we don't get it, we don't get it. But I'm not. We're going at it. Everything. I might get fired if I don't win this game because of things I've done. Right? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
He should be going for it.
How much is both teams to get a fourth down conversion?
Plus 310.
Plus 310. I gotta like that.
That was FanDuel. I mean, again, these aren't up to the second because I've, they move. But I've done multiple shows. I had it up on the site.
Lean under for the game. Team totals. 49ers sitting at 24.5. Chiefs at 23.5. Any thoughts on the team totals?
Again, man, I have no idea. I think this is like an in-game kind of opportunity. I do like a lot of props.
Yeah, so do I.
I could see, like I mentioned, the Chief prop for Kels. Like we could, if you think he's going to have a monster game, they should sail over this 24, right? You can't stop
Yep.
Green Bay or Detroit. We got Pat Mahomes, right? You think they're scoring 48 themselves, right?
That's what
That's the
everyone says.
mentality. That's the way people are talking, though.
Yep.
I guess they forgot that these guys lost. I mean, did they forget that Kansas City actually lost to Green Bay
And
actually
Detroit.
lost to Detroit, the team
Yep.
that these guys just beat?
Yep.
I mean,
that's why I figured that figures into the line somehow with the 49ers being favorite.
The 49ers' total body of work this year has been good. They were the best team in the league to start. I said it in August. I thought they were the best, and they'd have to get past maybe Eagles or Dallas. One of those guys would choke and just make mistakes, and they didn't even have to face those guys. And maybe, a rainstorm, maybe it's just a bad game, and whatever happened, they got behind. How about a team showing you some grit that says, we're not quitting? They could have folded up and be like, oh, woe was me, and collapsed. I mean, they didn't. They showed some heart. They came back, fought from. You're not 24/7. You could be like, oh my God, this is terrible. And that game's just hello. Look at the Cowboys. What the Cowboys do after that point? They were dumbfounded, and they couldn't even get off the bench in the second quarter. They just were shell shocked. Niners came all the way back. I mean, so I think they're the team that probably go over their total just based on, Debo and CMC could just bust one. Kittle could break free over the middle for just like kind of chunk kind of plays. I know he had Scantling. It catches a pass every game for 20 yards, it seems, the last couple of weeks. That's fine. But where's that all season? Now, so I'm supposed to buy into that. Now they're coming. I don't know. The total body of work at Kansas City offense has been bad this year, which is why they were on the road for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and if we're gonna, Tooch, if we're gonna say like the Niners barely got by those teams, let's talk about how the Bulls, the Bills needed a miracle to kind of be in that game, right? Fumbling out of bounds, but they got down the field. They could have had a touchdown to win a game. They could have had a field goal to tie the game. As bad as they played, they were there to win it or tie it, and just things didn't break their way. So and then you had a Ravens team who just after the first quarter said, no, I got a trick up my sleeve here to cost me my job. I don't know what the guy was thinking. So again, the love for Kansas City, I mean, what do you say about Mahomes? He could be the next Brady. He's on his way. I mean, six championship games. Was this the 4th Super Bowl?
It's his 3rd Super Bowl in the last 4. It'll be his. Let's see. He lost against Brady.
Lost Brady.
Beat
Niners.
He beat the Niners with Garoppolo, right?
And the Eagles.
And he beat the Eagles. Yep. So this.
Let's talk about those games. Let's talk about those games. Let's talk about. So you beat this team with Garoppolo, who threw a bad interception in that game, and that were leading with 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. You don't even show. I guess you didn't even know you had a game against the Tampa Bay for the Super Bowl. You lost that 31-9. It was a disgusting game. And then last year's game, you're again down at halftime in all 3 Super Bowls you played.
Yep.
And you rallied back. And I remember the end of that game was kind of crazy. So you pull out a win. You've really played 2 good quarters in 16 to pull out wins. And yet there's something to say about winning in the 4th quarter. That's like your play. And again, things got to go right. You got to have a bad interception. You got to have a team make a bad play. All right, you made your play. The other team didn't. It's still you kind of got lucky. And if you're going to say we're so good, well, you weren't good most of the time, and you got a turnover. Okay, you can't handicap turnovers; they happen. And again, I'm not knocking Mahomes and not Andy Reid. I mean, Andy Reid is as good as Belichick. I think you can put him right up there with Belichick because he's did it with the Eagles and he's done it here. Okay, he might have not won. I know that's the end all goal, but he got there. All right, and he played arguably the GOAT in the Patriots. But Andy Reid's fabulous. I don't want people to think I'm kicking him in or Mahomes. I just, the facts are 3 Super Bowls, they trailed in every halftime game. So hats off for them coming back, but it's also, it's not chalk it up. It's easy money that it's going to get there.
The Niners have trailed the last 2 games, right, at halftime?
Yeah.
Versus the Chiefs. I mean, versus the Packers and Lions. And then they've come together in the second half, put it together. During the regular season, the Chiefs were terrible in the second half of the season.
Can't score
of games. Yeah, they were terrible scoring.
But that's their offense. It's not a good offense. And
right.
who are you throwing the ball to? I grabbed a Watson over 16 and a half or 17 yards, either one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because is
It's
Kels really
Kelsey
going
or
to get?
Rice. Yep.
So those guys get 20 receptions. Nobody else is catching a ball. Like, is that how it's going to play out here? Someone's got to catch a ball somewhere.
Yep.
For even money, low yardage like that, that's one play. That's him. That's him catching a little bubble screen and going for 15 yards. You could get that, or crossing pattern out of the slot for 19 yards. Those are little things I look at. I don't know.
All right, we might as well start talking about some props. Rushing props here that I loaded up here. Let me know what you think. Purdy over 12.5 rushing yards.
I don't hate this. I think he'll, again, last game of the year, why not break out and take a run somewhere? I mean, it's not his real forte. It's not like they have planned runs for him. Not that they have planned runs for Mahomes. So it's going to be more, I'm taking off. I like it. I just think that's at a number, though, for me. If they're winning and they get the ball back at the end of the game, he's taking 3 knees, and all of a sudden your 16 yards is down to 12, and you lose this. So that won't concern me. Mahomes is fine. I think he could get that on 2 things because he's a guy. He's smart enough not to take a sack. He's not gonna throw it away or throw a bad pick. He's gonna just get out, scamper for a couple yards here and there. We've seen that. He could go for that on one run if something breaks open in the middle of the field. If the Niner defense looks like it was last week in the middle of the field versus the Lions or 2 weeks ago, he sees that and he's good for 22 on one rushing attempt in the first quarter. And you're like, this is golden. I got this made. McCaffrey should get there. I think that, Shanahan will feed him. That's what he does. 4.5 rush. I said that to Tooch. I said that to Ann. I said, this is one of my favorites here.
Yep. Love it. Because if he kneels down at the end, that's like
it's a rushing attempt.
3 rushing attempts,
So again, hopefully you got 2 built in there if they win at least, right? If they get the ball back. And in the other Super Bowls, 6 and 5 attempts for him. So yes. Pacheco over rushing yards. This is kind of like the Kels prop where it was 84 yards. It looks so low.
Yeah.
Right? So you see at 67 tells me that what are we just chucking the ball all over field? Or is it just as a grinding 20 to 16 under? I don't know. Pacheco's going to get carries. He's had 24, 18, and 24 the last 3 weeks in the playoffs. So he's going to get his attempts. I don't hate that one. And Mitchell over 3.5 for his longest run. Elijah Mitchell. I had a touchdown for him last week. It did not cash. I don't hate that.
He's hit it in like 90% of games.
Yeah.
If he gets a series, he's going to hit 1 4-yarder. That's why I don't hate this play. I actually kind of like this over 3.5 yards for as long as.
And again, you're not probably laying juice on this one, are you?
Let me tell you right now. I think it's minus 110.
That's I don't hate this. You could lob this in with and I hate saying like parlay things up like this, but there is
minus 120.
That's fine. There's also I think 4.5 San Francisco 49ers rushing prop for 4 players. So you have Mitchell, CMC, Debo is going to get a sweep,
and Purdy.
Yeah, but you need one more. You need the who's the fullback? Jerkovich? Juszczyk, whatever his name. That's a guy. His props are like half. I could totally see him doing those things. But it's like a half reception for like minus 160. Like it was 110. That's all the way up to 160 now.
Oh, receiving. I thought you meant rushing. Okay.
Oh, rushing is he got a half attempt too for like a yard or 2. I mean, I could see that. Him. Shanahan's got to mix things up. He's got to be carefree and not really tight with his history. He's got to be like, hey, we're taking shots. We're going to mix things up a little bit, but still be focused with CMC leading your show here.
Yeah, receiving props. I just loaded up a few that I liked or wanted to talk about. George Kittle was 47.5 receiving yards. It's 49.5 now. Kittle, over or under?
I got a Kittle over, but I don't know what I have him at. I got a lower number for him. I think I
You
might
probably
have
have 47.5 or something.
46 or something like that.
Yeah.
MVS over, longest reception. I don't hate that one. I mean,
One
forget
catch.
his longest reception. His yards for the game is only 20. I would just go over 20. I mean, like he's gonna catch one ball. I think it's gonna be like a 26-yarder or something.
Yeah. Kelsey over 70.5.
That's a good number. Like I said, the 84 was plus 112, and this is like his regular prop. It should absolutely get there. Have you seen his numbers in the playoffs? I mean, that's his go-to guy. He's just going to look in his direction and throw it there.
Every play.
But it's just, again, it gets back to like I see these numbers for him: plus 112 for 84, plus 152 94, 206 for 104, 278 for 114. Like you'd think he'd get 10 and 110 yards.
Yeah.
Because who's he throwing
to? Yeah.
And yet these are so inflated. Like, I mean, listen, I'm not a huge prop guy, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're right on point saying him getting 10 catches is not likely to happen. I find that hard to believe. I find that impossible to believe that he's not going to be targeted left and right. If he doesn't catch 10 passes, this is an absolute, the Chiefs aren't winning this game.
Yeah.
They're not winning.
Yep. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. The poop whistle was blowing in the middle of the show, which means that one of the toddlers needs a butt wipe. So they blow the poop whistle. Let me run over there in a second here.
Go ahead. I'm gonna run over there because someone's got in here about Fields adding a tight end like Stouffer and Fields would be better.
All right,
do your thing because I'll talk about this real fast. Like I like Fields and I'm not a huge Bear guy, Zeno. I don't think you jump into getting Caleb Williams and rebuilding. That is no. I mean, I know this is Bear talk here, and are you guys that high on you want Caleb Williams? Because Washington is not going to give you like 6 number 1 draft picks or 3 number 1 draft picks or whatever for Caleb Williams. And I wouldn't. I know there's a connection between Cliffy over there and Caleb Williams from the USC days, but I cannot see that. I mean, they should Washington pick second. They should grab Marvin Harrison, and then if the Bears should trade him Fields for like a second round or something.
All right, I'm back. The task is complete. All right.
I don't think he lacks a throwing ability. I think he's all right. I think needs some help around him.
Yeah, there was an interesting stat, Sean, for this.
You're only as good as your coaching.
Yeah. The only wide receiver on the Bears to score a touchdown, besides DJ Moore, after week 2 of the Bears season, he was the only wide receiver on the team to score a touchdown. No other wide receiver on the team scored a touchdown. It was either him or the tight end.
I mean, did you see Bryce Young? How bad he looked? I mean, I know Stroud looked awesome. And honestly, I wanted Davis Mills to get a shot because I'm like, hey, you know what? You got Pierce. You brought in the tight end from Dallas, Dalton Schultz. The wide receivers were like, okay, we'll see what happens. You had breakout wide receivers. Your running game went down the drain. It's not about Caleb. It's on that Fields just isn't it. Well, hey, listen, Zeno, you want to give up on him? That's fine. Get ready for another 3 years. Another 3-year rebuild with a new head coach to boot. Because once he's going to get fired after a year of Caleb Williams or 2 years of Caleb Williams when you win 5 games again. And then the new coach comes in. He's like, I got to get my guy, right? Every coach needs, he's not my guy. I can't. And then he's what, on his 3rd offensive coordinator? How good's he going to be? How many guys who could have been awesome, you never know because you got 2-3 coordinators in multiple years because. Yeah.
Cutler had a new offensive coordinator every year. He played for the team for 10 years, 9 years. He had 14 offensive coordinators, something like that. All right. Touchdown props. There's no value in McCaffrey.
No. Well, how about you could go 2 TDs? He's
for McCaffrey?
2-1, 2-1 for 2 TDs. So that's what I would do. I would just do a 2 TD instead
plus 200. Is that what it
yeah.
is?
Kel, same thing. His 2 TDs is plus $4, so he's 4-1.
Yeah, minus 110 is not bad for him to score a touchdown.
Rice, I did not put a Rice one down. 132, I worth it. Pacheco, again, I got a Pacheco 2 TDs plus 350. I'm thinking if these guys, Ayuk's 165. See, I have a Debo 2 TD 650. Mahomes TD is a plus 350. Like, I think that's a good one because I think he could just scamper one in for himself.
Yeah.
He's done it in the past.
One touchdown is how much?
Mahomes is plus 350.
Okay.
And Juszczyk is 9-1.
I know Kadarius Toney first touchdown score is 70-1. But
is he even playing? Is he on the active roster?
If he runs back the opening kickoff, you put $10 on it, you're getting $700, throw.
Now, see, this is what I'd rather do. I'd rather grab any player 150 receiving yards, right? If somebody maybe has a monster game, plus 725.
Any player.
Any player, 150 plus yards. And 150 plus rush yards is plus 650. And again, if you think Pacheco is going to run wild or Caffrey's going to run wild, why not go for that? Even, how about a receiving yard 125 is plus 209 for receiving yards. So even if 150 seems like a crazy Cooper Kupp Super Bowl MVP type year, again, that doesn't – I can see Kelsey having that kind of game. That's just me. So 125 yards for him, 209. Ladder that with like 10 receptions, 225, and over 114 yards, 278. Yikes. Big payday.
So let's see. I want to look this up here because we're talking NFL teams against the tight end. Let's see.
Believe it or not, I like this prop. A punt touchback, yes, is a plus 142. Why can't they get a touchback on a punt? That seems quite possible.
So the 49ers actually weren't that good against the tight end this year. So maybe it is a decent play with Kelsey. Trying to find a better, let's see, tight ends.
Zeno, you're right. We can talk about coaching. Belichick and Payton do look bad without franchise QBs. But, Russell Wilson was not that bad this year for Denver. The defense kind of cost him a couple games early. But Belichick, forget about the quote. I mean, are we really blaming Mac Jones? The guy, let's blame Belichick for the fact that he had Joe Judge and Matt Patricia, a special teams coach and a defensive coordinator running the offense. How is that helping Mac Jones or whoever? I don't care what quarterback that is. You're going to have a special teams coach as the offensive coordinator?
Yeah. Yeah, the coaching to me really helps. It's, these quarterbacks come in from college. They haven't seen NFL defenses, man. They haven't seen.
These defenses are light years ahead of these kids because you know what? They all want to come out as sophomores. Oh, look at this. I'm awesome. I'm a sophomore junior. And you're tearing up. And how many – we could go back to the 80s about college quarterbacks just tearing up, putting up stats. A lot of guys do that. And they come in the NFL, and I'm going to say 1 out of 10 are stars, 1 out of 15 really elite players. And we're spoiled.
I don't know how Zeno can say that Caleb Williams is automatically great. I mean, everyone thought Bryce Young was going to be great. He sucks,
I mean,
but I don't know. I haven't seen Caleb Williams go against an NFL defense. I don't know who his coaches are going to be. I'm not sure the Bears have coaches to develop.
I want to see Burrow be healthy. I mean, yeah, he had a horrible offensive line for 2 years. That's why the guy's out hurt all the time.
Yeah. Justin Fields got 3 years of NFL experience. That counts a lot. He had crap coaches, though. He had Matt Nagy, arguably the worst NFL head coach in a long time. terrible offensive coordinator, terrible head coach. And
How
last
is
year,
Caleb Williams great? He's
I
so
don't
great
know.
that
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
so great. His backup came in and threw for 6 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
That's how great he is. That's how great he is that he couldn't beat good teams. He didn't beat any good teams.
Yeah. We made it look easy versus the cupcakes. But, the locker room loves Justin Fields. Bears have so many holes. Man, I would rape the Commanders, and then the next when you're sitting in that number 2 spot, rape the Patriots for Drake May, and then you're done, man. Pick the left tackle, the best left tackle or best pass rusher, best wide receiver. Take Marvin Harrison. Yeah, I'd like to see what Justin Fields can do with good coaches. I'm not sure we even have that. I don't know if Shane Waldron is all that, Sean.
I was because this person said he goes Mills threw for 3,000 yards. They shouldn't pass on Stroud. I'm saying like you wouldn't take Davis. I mean, you guys already throw away Josh Fields. Like, I mean, Mills he put up numbers. He won a couple games with a terrible head coach.
Yeah,
and
Sean lives in Houston, so he can tell you all about the Texans.
I mean, like, I'm not saying Stroud's. He had a good. I mean, what are we doing here? You brought a new head coach in. We're great, but let's. I mean, I love how Caleb Williams is awesome and CJ Stroud after 1 year is the best thing since sliced bread. How's Tua treating? I mean, Miami's not even going to extend Tua. All right, let's talk about. I don't know. 1 year for me is not making a guy awesome. It doesn't make a guy terrible either, especially in a system where you've had multiple coordinators. And Mills was yin yanged out of there for who was there? What's his name? Case Keenum or whoever. I mean, come on. I take Dave. I mean, Davis Mills is a guy. Again, he's not a rookie anymore, but let's just slow down. The guys are bad throwing 3,000 yards in the NFL.
You have to discount.
Seen some of these quarterbacks.
You have to discount Fields' first couple of years, man. First year he was a rookie. He had Matt Nagy as his head coach.
And then you get a new coach and a new coordinator.
A new coach, new coordinator, and the roster was garbage. It was a team roster that was designed to tank. And still the kid ran for over 1,000 yards. But this year, I mean, they were 7-10. They're learning how to win. He still didn't have anybody to throw to. No. DJ Moore was great. Cole Kmet's okay. But I mean, like I said, after week 2, the only wide receiver that scored a touchdown was Moore. No other wide receiver on the Bears. There's nobody other than DJ Moore on that team at wide receiver. Let's get to miscellaneous props, Sean. Harrison Butker, I heard you guys talking about this today on Winner's Circle. Harrison Butker over 1.5 field goals make. I kind of like it. He averages 2 field goals a game over the season.
No, he's solid. So, yes, this is why I kind of like the over 33-yard field goal, too, because I know this guy's good for one.
Yep. Minus 110. The 49ers octopus. Kicker, the octopus. Yeah, do you know the octopus is?
Is that the catching the – or no, is that the scoregami? The scoregami is the 2-point conversion and a touchdown?
A touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So that's the octopus. So will there be an octopus this game, yes or no? I just threw it in there because it's funny.
I think there'll be a 2-point conversion, a successful one. So I mean, why not? I mean, sure, it's got to be a good odds on it.
Yeah. All right. What do you say we give away some free plays? You ready to get out of here? It's almost 8:00.
I just love all the Bears talk about Fields. People hate them.
I know.
They love polls. They got nothing. They want.
You got to have. I mean, the Bears only have 5 picks, I think. They don't have a second rounder. They have 2 first rounders, and then I think their next pick is like 68 or something, or 75, something like that. I'm not sure.
Mahomes versus Iowa State, 55-10, 18 for 36, 219 yards.
Yeah. And, in Des Moines here, we're about 2.5 hours from Kansas City. So lots of Chiefs fans. And then I'm about 30 miles south of Iowa State, so there's lots of Brock Purdy fans.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying, Sentimental won back-to-back championship games, and he won't get drafted. You don't evaluate talent based on who you beat in college. It has to weigh a little bit on your ability. Um, and maybe that's the problems. They don't question that because it's all about the underwear Olympics and like, oh my goodness, this guy. Look at the size on this guy. Yeah, how many busts? Let's go back on how he
That-
looks
I mean,
because he measures well.
those Georgia teams were fucking awesome, though, man. It's like
You know,
he won two
I
national
mean,
championships on a team where nobody
come
could
on.
score on the Georgia defense.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. You don't base. I mean, they don't base it on talent because we never see Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL because apparently the wide receivers are real, but the quarterback's not real. I don't understand how that is, but again, people put up crazy stats at college, and all I know is that Caleb Williams, the stats weren't all that great, and when he faced better competition, it wasn't good. So I mean, if you're not playing against elite competition and winning, and you're failing and doing it in an emotional fashion, I don't think that translates into success in the NFL.
yeah, yep, I agree. Ready for some free plays?
Let's go.
All right, let me.
You know, I can talk forever in here with these.
I
with
know.
these stats, huh? And it's good stuff. Like it's good. That's good talk. Like how people think. Like all right, because Alabama's always good. Oklahoma, whoever. What guys
that
come out of
Georgia
there?
defense, they had
Ooh.
like 11 NFL players on the defense.
People hate Baker Mayfield, right? Like, oh, Baker. So, hey, how about all the news that I heard from the college East-West game or whatever, North-South, whatever it was how good Spencer Rattler looked, and his draft. He looked better than Penix and
Yeah.
Bo Nix. He looks like the best guy.
Well, I mean,
Right? And people forget
he had a
about
good game. That's it.
but the guy was a Heisman guy when he came up. Like he had the NFL hype, and all of a sudden he just kind of falls
Highly
off.
touted. Yeah, people thought he was going to be the next great quarterback, Spencer Rattler. All right, where's our free plays? Let's see. Who's here? Yeah. All right, here we go. Anthony's got his free play. MVS over 14.5 longest reception.
He loves that guy.
How do we feel about that one?
You got to get him a jersey, an MVS jersey for him. No, I like it. I mean, the guy's just the last couple weeks. I mean, we're spoiled because we see him catching like 32 yarders out of the blue.
Yeah.
But hey, if he's going to just catch a fluky one, 14.5, why not? Again, even when the regular yard's 20.
All he needs is one catch.
One catch.
That's 15 yards.
He's not catching a 3-yarder. He's running down across the middle of the field and getting behind somebody. So I don't hate it.
For me, MVS is the guy with the worst hands in the NFL. That's just me.
That's why he's in Kansas City, because Aaron Rodgers blackballed him right out of town. So get out of here because you think you can't catch.
Can't catch.
And then shockingly, they're in a championship game or whatever they are with a young quarterback who doesn't berate everybody for drop passes.
Right. Sean's got the Spartans.
College hoops.
Illinois is so fickle. They're so disappointing for me. They're supposed to be awesome with a good offense and a great defense. They laid the wood to my Marquette Golden Eagles, my alma mater, in Champaign. And I bet on Illinois before, and they let me down. So I like Sparty. Give me Sparty. This is Anthony and my wagon, Troy. The Spartans. So we got two Spartans here, right? The Troy Spartans and the Michigan States. Sean and I are all Spartans this weekend. Troy is a beast at home, -5.5 versus Kent State. And our dog of the day, Rutgers, +4 versus Wisconsin. Let's go, baby. Rutgers, tough place to play. The Rack. It's not called the Rack, though. What is it, like the Dunkin' Donuts?
It's Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's subs, Dunkin' Donuts. All right.
Hold on. We can't leave yet because Zeno's bringing up his Caleb points.
Okay, I know. He loves Caleb.
I know. I mean, he's got to work for his agent. He's definitely his hype man. Okay, so now the stats matter. Now the stats matter. Before, some players' stats don't matter. Some guys matter. The guy does not win. I don't care. The defense.
His offensive line was garbage. Teams. I mean, he's not going to run for 100 yards like Justin Fields. That's for sure. But he fights in the pocket. That's what I like about Caleb.
I mean, are these
a nice arm?
These are the games lost. 380 yards versus UCLA. I mean, I remember that game. 200 versus Notre Dame, which I mean, that's terrible because Notre Dame's trash. Utah's a solid program.
Yeah,
I mean,
Utah's a good program.
again, and Utah's a physical team.
Yeah, good
Not
defense.
NFL-esque, but they play physical ball. That tells me something. Washington 312, 290 versus Oregon. I mean, and Oregon's defense was improved, but not. Come on,
They struggled versus Jacksonville State in that first half.
we just have to be honest about both sides.
Okay.
I mean, come on, we are honest about both sides. If you think Caleb Williams is going to come in and be awesome, that's what they said about Bryce Young. That's what they said about Tua. That's what they said about Zach Wilson. That's what they said about Jake Locker. I mean, we could go on and on about guys coming into the draft. Like, you hear it. I got Mel Kiper in my head. Anytime a quarterback's drafted, oh, he's a franchise type guy. Josh Rosen, where's that guy? You know, Sam Howell. Sam Howell is supposed to be the number one pick in the draft. Now he's never going to get a starting job in the NFL because he sat behind a guy. The coach is on the hot seat. Coach is fired, and that guy's career is done. And he was supposed to be the number one pick in the draft 2 years ago. I mean, that's just the way it is. You never know. He could have been.
Zeno could be right. I mean, Caleb Williams could be.
He could be.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez, Leinart. Yeah, the U.S. We could run down all those USC great quarterbacks. Leinart, Sanchez, Sam Darnold. Yeah, where's Sam Darnold? I got a Sam Darnold comeback player to your ticket, 50 to win like 2 dimes, because I thought Purdy was going to be able to play with his banged up elbow. Yeah.
I mean, look, there's some folks that I respect, Matt Waldron and Mark Schofield. Both of them love Caleb Williams, and I respect. I've had those guys on the show before on Barroom, and both those guys love Caleb Williams. So it could be right. With me, the Bears are not set to take Caleb Williams, man, as they're constructed right now. You know, there's too many holes.
They take Caleb Williams this year.
Yep.
And they win 4 games again. They had 7 wins this year. They go down to 4. So what is the goal for the year after that? Does he got to win
7? You're right back at 7 after 2 years.
So then say they win 6. Better yet, he gets hurt and he's out for after a year. They win 5 games.
Yeah, Justin Fields.
Now you got a new coach coming in now. Now you got a new coach because you're getting our prize quarterback. Our franchise quarterback's going to get killed with you because he's out for 7 games this year. So now he's fired. The new guy comes in. He's like, oh, no, not my guy. I got to draft somebody. I got to bring somebody in here. And here you are. It's 2034, and you're on your 3rd quarterback for the last 10 years. Every 3 years, a new quarterback.
What I would do, man, I would draft the best left tackle in the draft and plug him in for 10 years, let him protect Fields' blind side, and then I'd sign T. Higgins in free agency and let him and DJ Moore, you know, and then I draft the rest of the players that I need to fill the holes at guard.
You need. I wanted
sign a free agent center. You need a veteran center calling the plays on the line, and then draft a stud safety if you can, or pass rusher. You need a pass rusher opposite Montez Sweat, but. Yeah, you have so many holes, and you got a good chance to get multiple picks and build something and let Justin Fields. The guys already love Fields. If you get Marvin Harrison Jr., him and Fields are friends. Same with DJ Moore and Marvin Harrison Jr. You know? It's like the locker room's ready to go for Marvin Harrison Jr. to step right in, be part of the team.
I just don't know if the Washington would give up all that draft capital.
Well, it depends on how much they want Caleb Williams. You know.
Why? I mean, why give up all that and then you draft him and I could get Fields for a 2nd rounder from you.
Yeah. Well,
and then I got Josh Fields and I got Marvin Harrison Jr. in Washington.
Yep. What you do is you ask you swap picks 1 and 2 with the Commanders and get back the 2nd round pick you gave him for Montez Sweat. And then you trade with someone else who wants Drake May at number 2. You know?
Drake May.
Yep, that's what you do. I would take the big left tackle from Notre Dame. Plug him in. He's good for 10 years of protecting the blind side, no matter who's quarterback. But yeah, that's it. Sean, we're out of here. Any last comments? Anything? Who do you like Final Four? Let's just go there.
I like North Carolina, UConn.
Yeah. Purdue.
Man, Purdue looks good.
They choke all the time.
I
Though.
know that's why I can't put them there. I want to throw like Kentucky, or you know what?
God, the
As much as I like
Kentucky
Kentucky,
defense is so bad. I love
I
them though.
know.
They're so
One
fun to watch.
some Alabama, Auburn, one of those Tennessee, somebody
Mhm.
from the SEC will be in the Final Four, and then
Auburn's good, but their offense struggles away from
that's the thing.
home.
But one of those teams will go on a run. I just don't know which one.
Yeah, Alabama for me would be kind of the
Carolina, I
dark
think,
horse.
is going to peak at the right time. UConn, I think, is fabulous. Purdue's right there, and then again, somebody from the SEC. I don't know. Maybe you got a Baylor or Kansas or Texas, like one of those
Kansas is
Texas
good.
teams. You
Yep.
know, I got a final three. I got a top three: NC, UConn,
Yep.
and I guess we could put
I
the.
could put Kansas in there, man. They got a nice roster.
I don't know. I
too.
like Baylor tomorrow. They're getting six. They're laying 5 or 6 tomorrow. I kind of like Baylor there.
Kansas is laying points.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baylor's well coached, man. St. Mary's is kind of a dark horse too. I knew saw San Diego State make to the championship, but
no, San Diego State. I mean, St. Mary's sometimes some of their
they-
bad games. They
they
haven't had them in a
choke like
while.
Purdue. Yeah, they choke like Purdue, but they're
They
hot
haven't
right
had
now.
a bad one in a while. It's you look at some of their scores. I mean, you allow 20 points in a game, 48 points a game. You're like, holy cow!
Yeah, but they're playing cupcakes too.
Yeah, but still, if it was that easy, everybody would be winning games 90 to 30.
Houston's a good team, but man, their offense is so inconsistent.
That's the problem with them.
Yep.
I mean, one day, they're winning 80 or 50, and then they're in a 55-52 game.
I love that play defense travels though, man. Defense is good in the tournament too.
They just seem every year something happens, somebody gets hurt, and you never get your full what Houston should be kind of team.
Yep.
Like something's always goes wrong.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you see some of their games, they got 80s and are in the 70s. And, against Big 12, all these games are 77-54 and then 57-42. I mean, what is that?
What's the score of that Dayton game?
I think VCU's 49-47. That's about to end. It says 49-47, 2 seconds left.
They didn't even get to 100. God damn it. I was thinking about playing like under something outrageous, like under 100, under 110 for like plus 500, whatever. Plus 300. I didn't do it though. I'm like, just take the number. I know it's a winner. But yeah.
I like the VCU. I just couldn't get all the way in and pull the
You didn't like the total under, man. Come on.
Now, you know what? Also, on a day like this, though,
I need to break it down for you, though. I didn't break it down.
Yeah, but one, I'm not a huge total guy, number one. And two is like, so I do our midday money, and then tonight I'll come back with late night money at midnight. And I'm looking at a Friday when there's 3 games today. Sometimes there's like 8. If nothing jumps right away, I'm not even bothering looking. I'm not. It's a day I could just.
I hear you.
I could just jump into Saturday college basketball.
Yep.
There's
like 150 games tomorrow.
I'll take
I'm
a day
be
off
up all night. I'm going to be up all night looking at games because I want to, make some money tomorrow.
I don't mind passing. Like that's what. People come into the show like, what do you mean you got nothing today? I'm like, I'm not betting today. Nothing jumped at me. I didn't feel like taking.
I don't have anything.
I'm in front of the computer. I do shows all the time. I'm leaving here. I'm gonna go jump on another show.
I got my show. You got your Ken Palm.
I got another show after that. Tomorrow I got a show. I'm gonna do the live show. I'll send you a link for the Super Bowl show tomorrow night. Like so, I'm in front of the computer all day long. If I could get away for 4 hours and just lay on the couch and put a cold washcloth on my head, I'll take it. I don't need to bet a game today.
I hear you.
I got baseball coming up in a month. Conference tournaments start in 3 weeks. People don't know that because they just think it's like, oh, no. This time March we'll be there'll be not second round games, but I guess they're second round because
once March Madness ends, it's all baseball.
Teams will be playing their second conference tournament game this time in a month from now, March 9th. Teams will already be in the second round of their conference tournaments. I mean, so it goes fast. If I could take a day, I'll enjoy a day.
Did we get any college basketball comments, or are we still
talking? No, Zeno, when we were talking Caleb.
He likes Caleb. A lot of people love Caleb Williams, man.
I'm glad we got a lot of talks. We just randomly talk about that.
You know who else has a really good arm? Joe Milton on Tennessee. That dude.
Oh, God, hell.
He may be terrible. His arm is live, man. If ball gets to the sideline, hash like instantly.
Stop. But
I know. Well, I gotta ask you too. why can't I pick dogs all the time? I'm better at picking favorites. What is it?
Listen, you can't blindly be a dog or favorite guy. Now I lean more dogs,
But I know
and
you do because long
I,
term you're gonna,
yeah, home teams. And I said this to you off air. Go any person right now could go to covers and go to college basketball standings.
yeah,
Look at every team in first place and see their record.
yep,
18
and
and
look on the
4, and go
road.
look at their road record.
Yep,
3-3 on the road. All their losses are on the road.
all lost on
So
the road. Yep,
definitely don't lay points on the road in college basketball.
yep,
Don't fall for the wow. Illinois is ranked 10 and they're getting points from Michigan State, who's 14-9. The other team's 18-8 or whatever.
yep,
Red flag, red flag.
yep.
But you can't just blindly be on one or the other. And I'm guilty of like just not playing it. And I'm like, you know what? If I leave money on the table, that's okay because I know tomorrow's a new day and I can come back and win tomorrow. You don't have to always grab them. If it look, I tell you, if it looks that easy, it is, and I'll stay away. And if it cashes, hey, so Wisconsin Green Bay last night, or no, it was
Yesterday,
was
Wisconsin,
that yesterday?
Green Bay.
Green
Yep.
Bay was playing Robert Morris.
Robert Morris plus 2.5.
And Anthony was like, "Oh, you got to love them." I'm like, they are in first place, and they're catching points from the team in third, the bottom from Detroit's winless, and some other team has 2 wins, and then it's Robert Morris, so they're third from the bottom, and Detroit is just on another planet of bad.
And they gotta win sometimes.
They're at the bottom. They don't even win sometimes. They're 0-22.
I know. 0-25, 0-24.
Robert Morris is basically in second to last place, and they're favored over the first place team in conference play. Like, there is no way I'm taking that first place team. Like, that to me screams, are you out of your mind? Like, no, it won. That's why I didn't have it. It's just one of those spots where I've seen that enough times in my life.
Yeah,
I don't look at it as, and I
100%.
say this all the time, and probably the chat or people who bet don't, or newer bettors, we're like, what are you talking about? Like, that's one, I could pass on one game because I know for 150 times that this will happen during the season. Like, I'll be on the right side. I'll go 80-60 winning on that if I bet the Robert Morris in those spots.
So here's why I took Green Bay yesterday and felt pretty good about it. I had Robert Morris at home laying points versus Detroit, and they went to double overtime to beat Detroit at home. But I mean, that's another story. Now,
but you can't look at it that way, Tooch.
I watched the game, and I'm like, this team sucks. Robert Morris, But
they are a bad team, and that's why they're in second to last place because they're a bad team. So why are they favored? You should be like, that's great. All right, you got the win on it, but you should have been like, you know what? I want nothing to do with that because I saw Robert Morris play, and they're terrible, and they're favored. How is that team in first place? Is what you should be asking yourself.
And instead I was like, I think the odds maker made a mistake, and I'm on it. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah,
did they really make a mistake? That game went to overtime. Did they really make a mistake?
True.
You got that in overtime. Come on.
Yep.
Overtime. Get out the coin.
Yep.
Flip it. That was an overtime. It wasn't like they just cruised to a nice 10-point win. It was never. That game went to overtime.
So with totals, I mean, I send you my card every day for college basketball. And I've been hitting my totals, this year. I've been hitting really good on the totals, but it's when there's so many games. Like for tomorrow, and I have a bunch of games circled because immediately I go to we got the Michigan game here. Immediately I'm going to the top 25 and going against everything that looks way too easy. Yeah,
and that should be a small winning day there. And then then it's conference at a time. I'm going to go to smaller conferences and look for bad teams at home laying like more than 7 points. And I'm taking a dog like automatically between like 7 and 12 points. I'm automatically just jumping on dogs.
Yep.
Because that's what February basketball is.
Yep.
And actually, this is a system I've found probably about like 8 years ago, 10 years ago. It's paid off.
Yep.
Something to look at.
And recently it's been if you lose on the road in conference play, and then you come home and you're a dog at home, you take the dog at home in conference play because that's been hitting like 80% this year.
Yeah. Well, any
60,
kind of
70, 80%.
You see the home, you see the records, you see the road records of teams.
Yep.
Even the best teams, Purdue, all the losses on the road. Go through them all. I mean, I could run them all down for you. They're every team.
Houston on the road, lost.
Losing records.
BYU lost on the road. The records on the road.
Everyone. Let's go. UCF's in first place of the American Conference. 16-5, 4-3 on the road.
Yep.
I mean, Atlantic Sun, Eastern Kentucky, 3-7 on the road. Dayton, 19-3 overall, 7-3. North Carolina, 18-5, 6-3. Houston, 20-3, 5-3 on the road. UConn, 21-2, 7-2 on the road. I mean, Eastern Washington, 15-8, 8-8 on the road. I mean, what I'm trying to figure out what this means here, Tooch. Figure this one out for me. High Point, 20-5, 5-5 on the road.
Yeah.
Purdue, 21-2, 7-2 on the road. Again, I'm trying to find a correlation between Irvine going 18-6 and 6-6 on the road. I mean, it's Louisiana Tech, 16-7, leading CUSA, 5-6 on the road. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Home court is everything in college basketball. It's everything.
Quinnipiac, 19-4, 8-3 on the road.
Yep.
I mean, Indiana State, 21-3, 9-3 on the road.
And I love me some Quinnipiac. I made a lot of money on Quinnipiac this year already.
Not getting it done on the road.
Yeah.
New Mexico, 19-4, 7-3 on the road. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yep. Every team at first. Arizona, 18-5, 5-4 on the road.
Yep.
It's everyone. Sanford, 21-3, 7-3 on the road.
Yeah,
McNeese, 20-3, 8-3 on the road. Southern, 13-9, 5-9 on the road. I mean, everyone. App State, 19-5, 8-4. Mount St. Mary's, 19-6. They're 7. Actually, they're 12-4 at home and 7-2 on the road. They're better on the road.
So take a look at that and take the home dog.
Home dogs.
Home dogs.
Home dogs. And don't be scared. Don't be scared. Not even just home dogs. Don't be scared of I'm a ranked team coming on the road because, they have losses on the road. I mean, who's the ranked team you love? Oh, Duke, 17-5. Yeah, 5-3 on the road.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they cover either.
You heard it here, man. Sean Higgs dishing out the info, dishing out the advice.
They don't even care. They're still talking Poles and Fields and Caleb Williams in there.
I mean, I totally get it, man. I mean, there's a part of me that says Justin Fields is going to put it together sooner or later, you know. He's got to figure it out, you know. It took Drew Brees a long time to figure it out, you know. Same thing, but there's also a part of me that says maybe he never puts it together, you know. But you know, I mean, a lot of it's coaching. Like I said, you really have got.
Caleb Williams threw for 5,000 more yards than Josh Fields in college. How many years did Fields play? 2. How many years did Williams play? They both didn't play the same amount of years. That's impossible.
Yeah, Fields was only a starter for a couple of years, I think, at Ohio State, 1 or 2. I don't know.
It's got to be 2 years. I mean,
2 years. He left Georgia, so he didn't. He was behind. What's that kid's name that was ahead of him at Georgia? Jake Fromm.
Was he behind Fromm?
Fromm, I think he was behind Jake Fromm. And that guy's out of the league. Doesn't even play in the NFL.
No. There was somebody else before.
Was there someone before Fromm or after Fromm?
He's on the Rams. I don't know
the dude's name, but
yeah, that's another show for the transfer portal.
Yep, and that makes college basketball hard to handicap too. Is that damn transfer portal? All right, Shawnee, I'll let you get out of here. I know you got stuff to do. We got handicapping for tomorrow. I will talk to you later. Best of luck. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me. Take it easy, everybody.
Yep. Bye-bye.